So the presenters today will be Heather Shea. She is a building permit specialist and she specializes in the permit issuance work group. We have Summer Masden. She's a building permit specialist and she specializes in the plan submittal work group. Instead of Terry Kozlowski today, we're going to have Tarek Shalon, and he is the assistant manager of plans exam. We have Caitlin Cole. She is our plans technician specializing in addressing. We have Lori Bush, a building permit specialist specializing in fee workup. Matt Brewer is our manager of inspections. And Dennis Wright is our senior records technician, and he specializes in our records work group. And then we have Ava. She's one of our management assistants. The building permit process may include other departments and agencies and will require their approval prior to permit issuance. For land use information, you'll contact Comprehensive Planning at 702-455-4314. For information on right-of-way improvements, mapping, or easements, you'll want to contact Public Works at 702-455-6000. You may also want to reach out to...
Log out and log back in.
You'll also want to reach out to your utility companies like Las Vegas Valley Water or Clark County Water Reclamation. Sometimes they place a condition on the permits and will need to be signed off prior to issuance. So you want to check with them on what their requirements are. If you are unsure of what type of contractor's license is required for a permit, or if you want to verify a contractor has a license, you can contact the Nevada State Contractors Board at 702-486-4100 or visit their website at nvcontractorsboard.com.
That's weird.
The Nevada Blue Book is a reference guide that we use. It provides a summary and guide to Nevada statutes, regulations, and policies governing the construction industry. They have a really good frequently asked questions, which includes topics such as who can prepare plans and what type of general contractor can perform the work. And so it's a really good resource to look into. The building department website contains a lot of information to assist you with the building permit process. This is where you will find the applications, how-to guides, and frequently asked questions. Our website is clarkcountynv.gov/building. Our main phone number is 702-455-3000, or you can always contact our customer service department at 455-8972. On the building department website under services, you will see a list of divisions in the building department. It includes a list of divisions like plan submittal, permit issuance, plan review, records, inspections. It also includes a link to our adopted codes and a link to the Citizens Access.
What's going on?
It's important to note that the building department website and the Citizens Access portal are different. Our website is where you're going to find information regarding the department and what to submit and our how-to guides and information on the building permit process, whereas the Citizens Access portal is where you're going to actually apply for a permit and upload your plans. To verify if Clark County is the correct permitting agency, you'll want to verify the jurisdiction the property is located in. On the building department webpage, above services, you'll select which jurisdiction am I in. Then type in the parcel number or the address in the open web search box. If the jurisdiction has CC next to it, that stands for Clark County. If the jurisdiction reads Las Vegas or Henderson, you'll want to contact their building department for permitting information. Every applicant needs a Citizens Access account before they can apply for a building permit. On the building department website, select Citizens Access portal, then select it again on the next page in the upper right corner, and you'll select register for an account, and then follow the steps to complete your account registration. If you need additional assistance setting up a Citizens Access account, you can find detailed information under the link how to set up an account on our website before you enter the Citizens Access portal. We also suggest companies use a general email to set up their Citizens Access account. That way, access isn't restricted to one employee. The associated contact with the permit is also able to add additional contacts. For information on how to add a contact or a delegate, there is detailed information under the add account delegate/contact. I wanted to take a moment to talk about uploading plans. Attachments is reserved for documents after the permit is issued. Oops. And there is an actual attachment button when you're in the portal. If you select attachments when you are trying to submit for a permit or are in plan review and trying to upload your corrections, the plans will not be uploaded in the plan room, and we will not be notified that you've uploaded anything into the system. You will want to use the plan room in the portal and then select uploads to upload your plans and documents when you're applying for new permits or submitting your correction responses. And then we also have amendments. An amendment is reserved for revisions, your inspection agency agreements, or for you to add people and contacts to an application. And so we have 3 different attachments, uploads, and amendments, and they each have a different function. So you'll want to make sure that you're selecting the correct option based on where you're at in the plan review process. And with that, we're going to talk about contractors, and we're going to turn the presentation over to Heather.
Hi, if you are a contractor, be sure to add a contractor's license after you've created your account. Under account management, there's add a license next to the license information. Complete the search by adding the license type along with your state license number. You have to make sure that you put the 2 zeros before your state license number and then find a license. Once you find the license, you're going to select Connect under the action and then click OK when asked if you want to associate the license to your account. Once your account is linked to your contractor's license, the system will show pending. If the request is approved, the status changes from pending to approved. If the request is not approved, the customer will receive a rejection email with the information and directions of what need to be done to obtain the approval.
Okay, thank you, Heather. And now we're going to talk about plan submittal, and we have Summer.
Hello. So assuming you already know the permit type you need, when you are ready to apply, you want to make sure to hover and select from the appropriate division. You can't really see it on this slide, but in the blue ribbon at the top, it shows building, comprehensive planning, fire prevention, etc. For this example, we hover over building and select apply for permits. You will always be prompted to agree to the general disclaimer, then you may begin the process of selecting the permit type and make your way through the application and plan submittal process. If you are the kind of person that likes detailed step-by-step instructions for processes like creating an account, applying for permits, uploading plans, etc., on our website's homepage, there is a link to the Citizens Access knowledge base. Select submitting for new permits and plans online. If you cannot find what you were looking for or have questions about permit types, requirements, or anything submittal related, please contact our plan submittal team at the email address shown below, eplansubmittal@clarkcountynv.gov. This slide outlines the steps you would take to upload your plans and documents. Let's say you've started the application process but didn't upload or finish uploading all of your plans. You would start at step 1. If you are in the application process, you will pick up at step 8 and begin selecting your files for upload. Please note it is important to make sure you are uploading all your files to the plan room upload section and not the attachments. Once your application is complete, it will go into pending status for the plan submittal staff to review. Another thing to note at this stage is that any due dates shown are not accurate. While the submittal department does have service goals, actual due dates are established when the application has been accepted. Once the submittal is determined to be complete for review, it will go into submitted or in review status. Submitted status indicates plan review fees are due prior to acceptance. In review status indicates plans were accepted and review comments or approval should be expected by the due date shown. And again, if you find yourself having trouble or need guidance, you can use the Citizens Access Knowledge Base or shoot us an email and we can help you get on track. This slide is a guideline to help ensure your files are correctly identified and categorized when uploading so that everyone who needs to access that file can and is able to stamp and approve it if needed. For example, files uploaded as type documents cannot be stamped approved by the plan review team, so it is really important to correctly categorize. We have a category for the majority of files and plan types, but if you aren't sure, please reach out for guidance. Our final slide outlines the overall intake process where we perform a cursory review of the application and plans to ensure everything is as complete as possible. The goal is to avoid an automatic correction, which only causes extended review times. If all plans meet the requirements and are complete, then a plan review fee will be generated and the applicant receives an email prompting them to pay. Once the paid application will be accepted and assigned, or once paid, the application will be accepted and assigned to plan review. If the plans are incomplete, missing required information, uploaded incorrectly, etc., the applicant receives an email with additional information request and the application will move to waiting on customer status and the plan room is reopened so you may upload your revised or additional files. That is all for the submittal process. Again, if you aren't quite sure about something and are looking for guidance applying for a building permit, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to help.
Thank you, Summer. Now we're going to talk for a little bit about push permits. Some permit applications bypass plan submittal and go straight into plans exam. We call these push permits. Some examples are residential solar permits, standalone subtrades like new gas lines or panel upgrades, residential pools, demos, and revisions. When submitting for a permit, be sure to answer all the questions, read all the help language, and upload all the required documents and plans to avoid incomplete submittals or the wrong application type. We also have simple permits, and these simple permits for residential and commercial, they do not require any plan review. They include solar field reviews and electrical, mechanical, and plumbing replacements such as water heaters, furnaces, condensers, or replacing an electrical panel with the same amperage. If you ever have any questions about what type of application type you need or whether your scope of work would fall within this simple online permit, you can always reach us, contact us for assistance and we can let you know, what permit would be most appropriate for your scope of work. Now we're going to go to plans exam and here's Tarek. Tarek, are you there? We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So for plans exam, we have to have a complete submittal and the correct permit type. Otherwise, a correction letter will be sent requesting that you set up the correct permit application type. The processing status, you can see the instructions for how to check a permit status on our website by selecting the Citizens Access portal on the left side. On the next page, select check your permits. The green check mark means we've completed our review. The hourglass means it's pending or it's not in review, it's not yet completed. The orange star means it's in plan coordination. If corrections are required, take a look at the video instructions for how to review issues or conditions on our website by selecting Citizens Access on the left side. And on the next page, select E-Plan and then reviewing issues, conditions, and notes. See the video instructions for how to upload corrections on our website by selecting uploading corrected plans and documents. In the Citizens Access portal, go to Plan Room and then Uploads. Then select Resume to upload the corrected plans, similar to when you first submitted. Be sure to select Finish so that a notification can be sent to the plans examiner. Now, it's important to note that when answering plan review comments in the Citizens Access portal or Plan Room, if you only provide a typed answer to the comment, you do not upload any plans or documents, the plans examiner will not be notified that corrections were submitted or received. And they'll just sit there. So if a plan review comment requires you to upload revised plans or any other type of document, it should be uploaded. Not just provide a typed answer. For approvals, once all review disciplines are completed, the permit application will go to plan coordination and then permit issue for fee workup. You must be a listed contact on the permit application to submit corrections, revisions, download approved plans, or to pay fees. So you're able to add contacts who you would like to have access to your permit or plans, approved plans. Next slide, please. So our plan review service goals or timeframes, it's 21, and these are all in calendar days. It's 21 days for commercial, and that's projects that are valued at over 250,000. Commercial minor, that's 14 calendar days for anything below 250,000. 7 days, commercial 7 days, anything less than $100,000. Standard plans, that's 21 days. That's a commercial standard plan or residential apartments or so those are 21 days. Custom single family residence, 21 days as well. Residential minor is 14 days. Revisions are 10 days, and phase projects are 42 days. Corrections and revisions are 10 days, calendar days.
Thank you, Tarek.
Thank
And
you.
now we're going to hear from Caitlin in addressing.
The Addressing Work Group is under the Permit Application Center division known as PAC. The Addressing Work Group is responsible for the following: maintenance of the addressing database, coordinating with assessors, GIS, 911 agencies, and utilities, addressing of subdivision maps, reviewing new street names and street name changes, and approving address changes, and coordinating and supporting zoning plans, examinations, assignment of addresses to new building permits. And if you have any questions about the addressing of buildings on permits or anything, you can contact us at the information at the bottom of the slide. That's our email and the phone number for addressing services. For suite assignment for retail, commercial, and industrial complexes, a suite address will correspond to the floor it's on. For example, the first floor will begin with 100, the second floor 200, and so on. A suite address will be in increments of 5 or more to accommodate future subdividing. For example, suite 100, 105, 110, etc. A suite address cannot be an alpha or alphanumeric mix, and renovated buildings must comply with the current suite and unit assignments.
Thank you, Caitlin. And now for plan coordination, and here's Heather.
Hi, the permit goes to plan coordination team to attach all conditions. Once all conditions are processed, the permit moves to pending fee workup status and goes to the fee workup group. General prior to permit issuance conditions you may see applied is Las Vegas Valley Water, Clark County Water Rec, a dust permit, other water like a well driller's log, or septic receipt. You might have an inspection agreement, subcontractor declaration form, a completed application, owner builder affidavit, and property line authorization form.
Thank you, Heather. And now it's for fee workup. Here's Lori.
Thank you, Dana. Welcome, everyone. The fee workup team calculates the building permit fees once all workflow tasks have been completed by our plans exam teams. The plan review and permit fees are based on the project valuation, which is determined by the total value of work. This includes materials and labor, site development, finish work, and sub-trades such as electrical, mechanical, and plumbing. The complete definition can be found in our administrative code located on the website under services, then library, and under the current codes and ordinance. If you would like an estimate of the permit fees, there is a fee calculator available on our website. Go to services, to permit issue, and then select fee calculator. From there, you will be able to enter the proposed valuation for your project, and it will provide you with an estimate of the permit costs. On the fee calculator page, select the blue fee calculator link. Information and links on development impact fees will also be listed. The building department collects these fees for other agencies. The impact fees are typically assessed for grading, new construction, and additions to existing buildings. To use the fee calculator, select permit at the top of the screen. Then enter the valuation of the project and select calculate to get an estimate of the plan review, permit, zoning, electrical, plumbing, and mechanical fees. When the permit application comes to the fee workup team, the status will be in a pending fee workup status. An internal procedure we've developed is this what we call a restamp procedure. When the permit is in pending fee workup status, the data entry and approval stamps are verified. If there's any missing information in a cella or plans do not have the appropriate stamps, the permit will be put back into review for a restamp. This ensures a complete set of plans are issued with the permit itself. Once the restamp has been completed by plans exam, the permit will go back to pending fee workup where the fee calculation is completed. When the fee workup is complete, the permit status will change to ready to issue, and the contact person will receive 2 emails. One email will let you know that the permit is ready. The second email will tell you that there are conditions of approval, if any. Please be sure to click the links within the email. Also, for our fee workup team, we have a new email address that's not listed on one of our slides here, I don't think, but it's ccbd permit fees at clarkcountynv.gov. If you have any questions, you can always email us there.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Now we're going to go on to permit issue, and here's Heather again.
Hi. So once the permit is in ready to issue status, you can, conditions required will be sent to the e-plan issuance at clarkcountynv.gov. To see a list of possible conditions of approval and how to meet them, go to our website and select services on the left side. On the next page, select permit issuance and then select conditions of approval. If you have any further, Once the conditions are satisfied, the permits can be paid for by the licensed contractor or the owner builder through the Citizen Access Portal. Only listed contacts on the permit can make payments. A copy of the receipt and permit are emailed to the customer directly. Approved plans are available for download after the permit is issued. If customer would like to pay via wire transfer or would like information on how to set up a trust account, please contact our finance department at bdfpfinance@clarkcountynv.gov.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
And now for revisions, we have Tarek. Tarek, are you there? We can't hear you. Okay, so I'm not sure, Tarek might be having some technical difficulties. So applying for a revision, once the permit has been issued, A revision can be submitted using the amendment button. You can find information on how to apply for a revision on our website by selecting the Citizens Access portal on the left side. On the next page, you'll select the Citizens Access knowledge base and then select submitting plan revisions, and then you'll get the instructions on how to submit one. Revisions can affect inspections. Revisions must be approved prior to scheduling inspections. Work shall not be concealed or load areas without approved revisions. All revisions must be approved prior to the scheduling of final inspections. If a revision was created on accident and you would like the information on how to request a withdraw for a revision still in review status, you'll go to our website and select services on the left-hand side, and then select permit issuance and then sample letters. We have a list of different sample letters available. You will select the withdraw for revision, still in review status. And then follow the instructions on the letter. It'll tell you where to submit the withdrawal letter to. Revisions with additional scope.
Okay, I'm here. I apologize for that.
Oh, okay. Do you want to take this last slide?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
So revisions with additional scope for work that adds height, valuation, or square footage, or changes the that results in a change of occupant load, floor area, all that, or building footprint even. An example would be original permit scope, constructing shell building, revision, additional scope, increased footprint, or another example would be, say you're adding a mezzanine. That also is considered additional scope, so you're adding square footage. This qualifies for revision with additional scope. And revision additional scope of work requires an hourly plan review form, which can be found on our website by selecting services on the left side. And on the next page, select plan submittal, and then select application forms. Then locate the PDF titled Hourly Plan Review Application Form 1017. And please indicate the additional valuation, square footage, or height on the hourly plan review application, as well as in the Citizens Access portal. Again, so there may not always be additional square footage, but you're adding light fixtures. That's additional scope, so it'll just be an additional valuation dollar amount. Revisions with additional scope of work cannot be used for pools, signs, fences, grading, or standard plans. Revisions additional scope of work cannot be used to change the original scope of work on the original permit, and it cannot add scope for separate permits required. An example of that would be original permit scope is construct detached garage, revision additional scope be add detached casita. This requires a separate permit. And separate permits can reference that they are supplemental to the original permit or reference the original permit.
Thank you, Tarek.
Thank you.
And now for inspections, and here's Matt.
Tea time?
All right, so after you go through your plan review, you get your permit, the intent of the field inspection is to verify that you have a legal current permit. The scope of the permit matches the work that's being performed. The contractor or owner builder is working from an approved set of plans, and the work being performed meets what is depicted on the plans. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so if you navigate through the website, you can find the field inspection contacts. You select services on the left-hand side of the website. You go to inspections. Then on the next page, you select the assignment areas and building inspector contact list, and that'll give you a list of all the inspectors' phone numbers, emails, and also the supervisors for the area. If you go through on the same tab, you can find the map, and it'll show you all the geographical areas that are that the supervisors are assigned to with the inspectors in the area. And we perform inspections Monday through Friday, even on Saturdays, but mostly Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 4:30. We are half-staffed on Mondays and Fridays to accommodate that 5 days a week. So just be aware that services are a little bit diminished on those days, but we'll get to you as fast as we can. Okay, next slide, Dana. So to schedule field inspections, you go through the Citizens Access portal, and you can This is to schedule in-person inspections, but you schedule inspection, you go to the services and schedule the in-person inspection. It'll prompt you for your permit number, and then it'll give you a list of inspections that are available. You can also call the field services desks at 702-455-8040, and they'll help you schedule inspections or if you have any questions with anything. And as soon as you get your permit, you can schedule inspections, but the permit has to be in issued status to schedule inspections. So that might be the first thing to check. Make sure that permit's issued, and then you can contact us if you have trouble scheduling. Okay, next slide. So a little bit different. If you want to schedule video inspections, these are, certain things are eligible for video inspections. We have a list down there on the bottom tile. Shows you what is eligible. You would not go through the Citizens Access Portal. You go on our website, and then you select that safety vest where it says schedule inspection. It'll give you the option there for schedule in person or video. So you want to select video. Then you do the drop down and select which remote inspection you're scheduling. And that'll take you to a calendar, and you can select the date and your 20-minute window. And an inspector will call the contact that you put on that inspection request in that 20-minute window to perform the video inspection. Again, it's only eligible for certain limited scopes, so you can't do everything under videos, unfortunately, or fortunately for us. Okay, next slide, please. So as you're going through your inspections, we have 3 hold points. These are framing, foundation, and final. So the conditions, all your conditions for your permit or your project will be housed under one of these 3 holding inspections. So, like, for example, prior to foundation, you can't schedule a foundation inspection until your pad cert report's approved. And or framing, you might have revisions or a finished floor cert that needs to be done. You want to make sure that all those conditions are met prior to going through to that stage of inspection. And note that not all the conditions are going to be by the building department. There's going to be other agencies or departments that have conditions, especially prior to final, that need to be met before you can schedule those inspections. We do have future updates on our bulk inspection program, and you'll be able to upload documents while you're scheduling your inspection. A lot of those are active now, and you can actually, there's certain inspections that you need to upload a document in order to schedule, and that's where that'll be found. But also in the Citizens Access Portal. So we have a lot of different ways you can schedule inspections. Bulk is just another way that kind of streamlines the process for certain types of inspections. Okay, next slide, please. And then we handle TCOs. If you get to that stage of the game, we can't do TCOs for single family dwellings, and we can't do them for shell buildings. But if you're eligible, certain commercial projects, then you'll fill out a TCO application online. We have 3 different levels. The first one, the lowest level, being fixtures, furniture, and equipment. So you get that approval to start moving things into the building. Then the next would be stocking and training. You're bringing in non-construction personnel. So we need to have a little bit more of the life safety elements complete, more conditions approved. And then after that, the next thing would be full TCO. That means public can come in. You can use the building as intended. There will be restrictions on maybe time. We want to make sure that everybody's safe while using the building, while you're waiting and finishing up the last little bit to get to a final inspection. But to apply for the TCO, you'll go on the website. You'll select the TCO/CO occupancy tile and fill out the application. It gets reviewed by inspection supervisor, and we'll be in contact with you to go through that process, to getting a TCO. All right, next slide. A few TCO FAQs. I applied for the TCO. Can I move in? No. You have to have an approved TCO signed by the building official to move in. Now, we talked about that. You cannot get a TCO for a shell building they don't get occupancy. Shell buildings by definition are not occupiable until the TI moves in and finishes out the conditions that you need for an occupiable building. Same goes for other non-occupiable buildings like fences and walls and guard shacks and things like that. They don't get occupancy, so they don't really get a TCO or a CFO. And then if your TCO is about to expire, what do you do? Well, the first and best option would be finish everything up and get a final. But if that's still not option, not an option, then you apply for a TCO extension by applying for a brand new TCO, and we will review that and can issue an extension on your TCO. And I think that might be it for inspections.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you, Matt.
All right, thank you.
And now we're going to move on to records. And here's Dennis.
Hey, good afternoon. In this first slide, we're going to go over how to do a permit or complaint general search through the Citizen Access portal. Okay, so once you enter the Citizen Access portal, there'll be a header at the top of the web page. You're going to hover over where it says building. Okay, and you're going to click where it says select permits, and that'll take you into the general search screen. Once you get there, you can search for building, fire prevention, or code enforcement records. You're going to want to change your start date to at least 1/1/1980. Okay, and then you're going to enter a permit number, complaint number, or a street number and street name to do your search. Okay, just one thing to note here, there's a box in the upper right hand corner. You can't see it here, but you will on the website. That says search all Clark County records. That needs to be checked if you want to return any fire results during your search. Next slide, please. So once you have your search results, you can click any column headers shown below, such as the date or permit number or status, and sort those any way you like. And they'll also have all your information displayed there as far as what you're looking for. Building and fire prevention code enforcement will show a prefix of BFC. Building records will have a prefix of BD. Fire prevention records will have a prefix of FP. This search also shows complaint status too, so you can come here if you need to know the complaint result as well. That'll be under that status header that I was talking about previously. And there's also an option to export this to a CSV if you need this in a list format for Excel. Next slide, please. So on this slide, we're going to talk about document image search. Okay, so what we talked about previously was more information based. Document image search is where you would go to obtain the actual documents. Okay, so from here, if you see where it says document image search, print TCO CO on that tile, that's going to be on the main records web page. Okay, and you get there by going to services on the left hand side of the website and clicking on records. Once you get to document image search, you'll see a screen that looks like that screenshot below. Building department's highlighted, but you can search for any of those options. You can search for building department documents here, code enforcement documents here, or fire prevention documents here. One thing to note, the best way to search any of these records is by either entering a record number or a location. Usually you don't want to enter a parcel number if you don't have to, because those change, so you may get an incomplete result. Just to give you an idea of some of the records that are available, most building department documents are going to be available from the 1970s forward, except for custom home plans, which are available from the mid-1990s forward. And just a few other things to note, building and fire prevention code enforcement documents are available from 1998 to present, and fire prevention plans and related documents are available from the late 1960s to present. Next slide, please. So from here, we're going to talk about the records main web page. Okay, so here you can actually make a records request if you need to. There's a tile on this page called the Building and Fire Prevention Public Records Request tab. If you click there, there's a link to our records request form. Okay, you can send that form to us by emailing it to dsrecords@clarkcountynv.gov. One thing that we do ask when you submit this form is that you be as specific as possible. Okay, any subjects that you need to be researched needs to be done as specifically as possible. Any approximate dates and the method of delivery, either by hard copy or electronic, will need to be on this form. You can get in touch with us at 702-455-3029 if you need to speak directly to a records tech, or you can come down to the department in person if you want to do research at 4701 West Russell, anytime during business hours, which are from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Next slide, please. And last but not least, we're going to go over how to do an inspection history report. Again, you're going to go to the records webpage and you're going to select services on the left side. Once you get to the records webpage, you'll see a tile that says inspection history. You're going to choose that, and in that box that's displayed, you're going to enter your permit number and it'll return an inspection history result for you. You can also look up inspection histories through the Citizen Access Portal. Again, you're going to go to the Citizen Access Portal link, and when you get there in the top header, you're going to hover over building and choose inspection history report. And then you're going to enter the permit number like we discussed before, and it'll return inspection history result for you that way as well. Alrighty, and that is it for records. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. So I want to do a disclaimer. Just, this information is current at the time that we've done the presentation, but our procedures are subject to change. And as we are dedicated to making improvements to our processes, improving our customer service. Please visit our website for up-to-date information on our programs. And I want to thank you all for joining. Here, this last slide has some of our websites, customer service, email, customer service, phone number. And at this time, we're going to go ahead and stop the recording.